Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of our KULT Divinity Lost Homebrew, Suffer the Little Children. I am Benny Mitchell, your storyteller this afternoon. And, and we will go around and everyone can introduce who they are and who they are playing, starting with Anita.
Hello. Well, Tranquil or Anita here. I will be playing Billy, your mayor, in this lovely horrific tale. I'm excited to be back.
Great. And Matt.
Hey, what's up, guys? Monk, Matt, or in this case, Hercule, investigator, a little bit of a journalist. Ready to go.
And last but not least,
Rob Madison II, also known as Mad Dr. Rob on the Everywheres, and I will be playing Marcus Hill, your former father. Yeah.
Wonderful. For those who don't know, KULT Divinity Lost is a horror role-playing game where the players will see their worst nightmares come to fruition. This is a homebrew based on true events. In the description, there is more information as far as where I'm drawing upon these real stories and real places and dark histories. Where we begin this game, we are going to be in Philadelphia in the summer of 1994. 10 years ago, Pennhurst State School and Asylum closed after decades of reports and rumors of abuse and pain and suffering. In those 10 years, Philadelphia has become a nightmare, where we find these three Philadelphians is on the day of a big city council meeting in the hopes of figuring out what to do with the aftermath of the closing of the school and what the citizens and the council can do to save Philadelphia from despair. Content warnings going forward. Please know that this will include horror elements, thematic themes that include blood, gore, violence, harm against children, adults, the elderly, harm against animals, and more can be found in the description below. The players and myself have all discussed the elements of what will be coming about within the gameplay, so they are aware of what is to come. But you, the viewer, if something were to happen that makes you uncomfortable or feel unsafe, please pause, take time to step away, and come back. We thank you for joining us. This is episode 2. A brief summary of our previous episode. We found Marcus and Hercule experiencing things that can't quite be explained in the natural world. Marcus had a visitation from a former colleague of his, Sister Delaney, which turned dark and harrowing, where Sister Delaney morphed into a creature that wasn't so much human and more animalistic and attempted to drown him, only for him to awaken in his own bathtub, unsure of what is reality or not. Where Hercule experienced nightmares of a strange holding room or cell, not quite sure, him and another child strapped to beds, cots covered in filth and despair, only to be stalked at night by an orderly. Yes, an orderly that could possibly have meant that they were in an asylum of some sort, that took his cellmate away to some bitter end, only for him to awaken at home with his estranged wife and 2 adult children. A very awkward encounter indeed, that found him wanting to head to the library with his son and possibly find out more about what is happening in Philadelphia. Billy, who was not with us at the episode 1, We last left her speeding away from Pennhurst Asylum, where she found her daughter, 7-year-old April, walking alone in the woods, heading towards what should have been an abandoned building, and yet the lights were on. April tells of a man that led her through the woods, someone that Billy may actually have known. This is not a random occurrence for Billy. Your daughter, April, has been wandering off time and time again at night. Your husband away on business. You're alone dealing with it. Not only that, you're mayor of Philadelphia. You have much, much to deal with. And that is where we will begin this episode. Billy, it is the morning of the big council meeting. It's It's August 28th, 1994, a hot summer morning. Your daughter, April, is in her room, awake, strangely, and she's at her desk and drawing. Billy, you're confused, angry, frustrated. This morning, as you begin your day, what are your next steps? How do you want to approach the situation with your daughter?
First, I want to see what she has been drawing. So I go into the room.
Excuse me. You enter the room. Sorry. Choked on air. You enter the room and she's hunched over her desk. And you can hear the pencil in her hand as she digs it deep into the drawing. And she's almost fervently coloring with it. And as you get closer and closer, what you see before you, and I'm going to have this pop up on the stream. It may take a second for you to see it, but everyone else will see it first. There are 2 drawings on Billy's desk. I'm sorry, April's desk. One of a nun, strange, the eyes piercing, the teeth monstrous. The other is of a hooded figure, a look of sadness on its face, and its mouth almost sewn shut. These drawings are crude, but way too detailed for an 8-year-old. Have you had a moment to see them on stream?
Have. April? Why have you seen this before? What is this?
She's still down, head down, pencil grating into the desk as she colors in the habit around the nun.
April?
I saw her in a dream.
A dream?
Yeah.
And what were you doing in this dream?
I was holding hands with the gangly man.
The gangly man?
Sure. This is him, Mommy. And she holds up the other drawing of the hooded figure, the mouth sewn shut. He said that you know him.
What else did he say?
Well, he taught me kind of a little song, and I taught it to the other kids on the playground. But it was, always be brave, always behave, or the gangly man might send you to a grave. What's a grave, Mommy?
It's where people who are having a long sleep stay. And Mom has the meeting today, and we really need to get going. Do you mind if I hold on to these pictures, please?
Sure. I like it when you have my drawings, Mommy.
Thank you, dear. I take the drawings kind of like I don't really want to touch them, but I take them. Go get your stuff ready, you know. You still have somewhere to go and places to be, and fix your hair. You know how we like to present ourselves out here.
Yep.
You know, Mom.
We must be presentable because Mommy is mayor of town.
Yes, exactly. Yes. You understand. Yes, and go on.
Okay. And she abandons her desk and goes to her bed and starts like rummaging through this pile of clothes that she just consistently has existing there. And as you watch her in the morning dew, you look at her window that you believe she had climbed through last night to sleepwalk her way to Pennhurst. But you notice in the dew there are 2 handprints, much larger than hers, much higher than she can reach, pressed up against the glass. And as the dew like kind of drips around them, it's almost like they're imprinted onto the pane.
Do they look like regular handprints, or are they strange?
Give me let's do our first roll. Give me an investigate. That is 2d10 plus your reason modifier.
14.
A 14. Let me refresh my page real quick. Let me see what I want to do with that. Okay. With the 14, you note it, like you see the handprints and they are thick. Like this is the hand of someone that is larger. It could still be human, but like the palm print, like you reach up to put your hand in the same outline, and you notice that your hand is much smaller like than this. And you've got relatively like average, if not larger size hands for, a woman. You're taller in stature, so like this has given you an uneasy feeling. But not only that, as you press your hand against it, you notice that the handprints are from the outside, not inside. As if something was up on the roof, pressed in against the window, looking in at your daughter.
Is this really happening again? I look at the pictures. I look at her. I walk out of the room. And I rip them.
Give me a keep it together. It's a roll plus your willpower.
Seven.
A 7. Okay. All right. With a 7, which is a failure, you rip them angrily. You just start shredding them in the hallway. And the moment you start shredding the image of what she labeled the gangly man, the first tear, it's almost as if a tear has happened inside of you. And you double over as your sternum like just shoots with pain. And you kind of let out a yelp. And as this happens, like a imprinted image in your mind kind of flashes. It's like a memory from your childhood as your head just seizes with a migraine, and like you just get flashes of this face and its eyes boring into you, and its sewn mouth just kind of like pulling into a smile as blood pools out of the holes of the stitching, and it like cocks its head at you in this image, and you double over. You can't see anything but this image in front of your eyes, and you can hear April behind you. Mommy?
Go back to your room. Go back to your room.
Mommy!
I'm fine. I'm fine. Go back to your room. It's okay.
Why did you rip my drawings? You don't like them, do you, Mommy?
They're actually very good, April. I kind of like, straighten back up. There's a lot we need to talk about. But your artistic skill, baby, that's not it. You're great, actually. Actually, maybe even too good. But I'm okay, and we'll draw some more later. But remember, I have the meeting, okay?
Okay. Mommy?
Yes?
He had a message for you.
What?
Watch your back. And she like does that cute little like spin that a child does when they run off back into their room, and she just goes back to getting ready, and she's like humming to herself.
It would be happening now that he's out of town. Have this meeting, this town hall. Like, I need to keep this job. No one needs. We're getting rid of Pennhurst. It has to go. I go get my stuff ready for this meeting.
So as you're getting ready, there is a news report being delivered on the radio station. And for those who saw our teaser earlier, essentially you hear in the news report that something that has been plaguing your job since the beginning of summer, something that is possibly going to cost you your re-election, is that of a serial killer that has been plaguing Philadelphia, that of the Kensington Kiddie Killer, and that he has struck again, and the 11th child was found this morning.
Yep. 11. 11. Am I the only one that knows about this? It's gotta be him. It's gotta be him. And he's not going to get April. I turn off the TV because I no longer want to hear the news. I skip the orange juice and down a glass of a very red wine.
9 a.m. Breakfast Champions.
Yes.
Because you failed on your keep it together, you have a -2 stability. So that will continue to stay with you for now. That glass of red wine, as you down it, you can feel the warmth of it start to kind of like take over your stomach, and it burns a bit as it like kind of like as you feel it kind of fall past that whatever that feeling that you had in your chest. But you ignore it as like the kind of like the sway and that kind of flushing of wine hits you. What will you do next to prepare for your day?
I check my contacts to see if I can get any more information on Gwen.
Gwen is your secretary, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what information are you looking for?
Any dirt on my opponent at the town.
Okay. Are you calling Gwen or you're texting? Oh, well, texting, it's 1994. All right, so you call up Gwen. Madam Mayor, it's so good to hear from you this morning. Did you get my fax from yesterday?
No, can you just tell me what was on it?
Oh, yes, right away. So I was able to find a little something from Councilman Quinn's past. Quinn Kilbride, your opponent in the upcoming election. Quinn... So Quinn was...
Put it out.
So I know you were looking for something in the way of an arrest record or something that could be of use, but the only thing I was able to find was that Councilman Quinn's family were top investors at Pennhurst. It looks as though the Kilbride family built several buildings on the campus and were part of the initiative part of the initiative to help rehouse a lot of the patients in group homes that they now own. So it's apparent that Councilman Kilbride has quite a bit of connections with the architectural construction companies and all of those that would be involved in the possible either in the maintaining of it or turning it into something else, or it's possible that they would want to take control of the raising of the property.
Was the money above board?
There is a percentage that is, but it looks as though that there was a lot of cash donations. I'd say I can find about 15 to 20% of the records that were above board, but everything else is either redacted or listed as cash donation. I'm really concerned, Madam Mayor, because with him having such connections to the construction businesses in the area and connections with Pennhurst, he may be able to take over this project right from underneath you.
What it sounds like, doesn't it? And of course, Pennhurst. I can't get away from Pennhurst.
Madam Mayor, may I make a suggestion?
Go on.
At the council meeting this evening, I think you should start out going hard on the deconstruction project. That it will be good for Philadelphia, that it'll be good for, the people, and that we maybe should suggest turning the land into a shelter of some form. It can help with the issues that we're having with, children and the homeless on the streets.
Yes. Brilliant idea. But I have another question. A more important question.
Okay.
Did any of his family attend or was a patient in Pennhurst?
Well, that's the interesting thing. It looks as though, from what I could see, his mother suffered a psychotic break back in the early 60s after his father's untimely death. I couldn't find much on it. There were rumors that he had been killed or something had happened, but after his mother's psychotic break, it looks as though that both she and him were housed there up until his 10th or 11th birthday.
So he stayed in Pennhurst.
Correct. it could be part of his reasoning as to fight so hard against you to get control of the deconstruction project, or maybe he has a personal vendetta against the property, but either way, it's a
not good. It's not good.
no. Though he hasn't gone on record yet whether or not he's team raised the facility or not, we don't know. He could swing in the preservation path, or he could want to take it down. I'm sorry I wasn't able to find more.
You actually found enough.
Really?
Yes, Gwen, you did. I'm proud of you. You know, you haven't been on this job very long, and you've been doing a very good job.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I really appreciate it. Coming from you, that's... wow. No one's ever said they were proud of me before. I can be at your office within the next hour, and I'll have meeting notes prepared for you, and I'll be there to watch April throughout the proceedings.
Yes, and please make sure you keep a really close eye on her, and have the coffee coming in droves.
You got it, Madam Mayor. Thank you so much. Will that be all?
Yes, that's all for now. Thank you, Gwen.
Okay, thank you. See you soon.
I just hang up.
Okay.
Are you ready, April?
Almost ready!
What could he want with this property? What could he want with this property? His mother's psychotic break? Maybe he has something to do with these missing children.
So
Pours another glass of wine.
Okay, with another glass of wine, this is now your second wine of the morning. Is this a normal occurrence for Billy when she's stressed?
Yes.
Okay. Would you say that this has been an issue between you and your husband? Something that would be kind of like a tension or constraint in your marriage?
One of the few, yes.
Okay.
He just doesn't understand why I would bother drinking in the AM before work or anything, to be frank. But, we can live with the differences.
Okay. And while he's away on business, it's pretty easy for you to take your drinks in the morning.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, as you're doing that, give me a soul roll. So that's 2d10 plus soul.
$16.
Great. With a 16, the second glass of wine washes over you. You've got that kind of like strange feeling in your sternum again. It's almost like there's this like barb of sharp pain that just keeps like stimulating against your chest. And you understand in that moment that whether or not Councilman Kilbride, Quinn Kilbride, has anything to do with the missing children, the murdered children, or April's sleepwalking, or Pennhurst, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. All that matters in this moment is the fact that your daughter is being visited by a strange being she has labeled the Gangly Man. And it hits you as you pause that this is no stranger to you, that this is something that haunted your childhood, and you're seeing it being played out again in front of your eyes in your own flesh and blood. How does that make you feel?
I'm angry. Angry that it didn't end. It's not over. And I thought it was over. But clearly, Um, there's more work to do.
Okay. And we will take a pause there on Billy. And we will float over to Marcus. Marcus, we're catching you right at the moment that Sister Sister Beatrice has hung up on you after delivering the news that your old friend Sister Delaney had taken her life, and she was found floating in the lake by the chapel. Or the convent, really. What are you feeling?
This doesn't really make sense. Hold on, I was just... went upstairs, I took a bath, and I talked to her, and then... well... something's weird. Something doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. She seemed so... was that a vision? Did she just... was she a visitor? Like that lady last night? Something's weird. Something's weird. Oh. It's got everything to do with that place. Everyone wants me to go back. This place, something about that asylum. It was quiet for so long. Now everybody's worried something's still there. Can't tell who's coming to the house, who's not coming to the house, who's there and not there. All right. Okay. Let's start the morning. Let's just get this together. Yeah. Let's get it together and we'll figure it out.
What's your typical morning routine? Or what were your plans for today outside of these strange visitations?
Well, typically it's quiet so I can have my coffee and breakfast. I like half the breakfast or whatever. But then I have a couple books that need to go back to the library. Hold on, I looked through some of the books that I picked up yesterday. Some on various religions. Both real and not real, more occultists. It can't be real, but there's things that just don't make sense and anyway, I probably gonna, after bath, put regular clothes on, finish my coffee, read a book, go to the library, drop off these old ones. I think there's a new one I need to pick up. Maybe fill in a blank somewhere.
So, you're gathering up the books. How many books would you say that you had checked out? Like 5?
Yesterday? Yes.
Yeah, about 5.
Total? Yeah. A little more than that. But...
So with the books, you're kind of like, you've got this stack of them, and you're kind of fumbling, you're most likely you have like a bag of some sort that you're putting them in, correct?
Yeah, it's old rucksack, like regular backpack. Like it's gray. surprisingly not worn for how worn it should be. It's a like knockoff JanSport bag,
Okay.
but it does a trick.
As you're putting away the books, one of them slips out of your hands, and with a resounding just smack, it hits the ground. And it's one of the books on the occult, on religions true and perceived. It's a black book. And as you reach for it, it flutters open. And the pages flutter, as if someone's changing the pages right in front of you. There's no wind. There's no draft. Something is manipulating this book in front of you. And the pages turn and turn and turn until it stops. And there, on the page, is an image, a drawn, crudely drawn image of Rosebud. But it's rotting. Like someone drew out this picture, like almost like it is an actual photograph, but it is a drawing of a rotted rosebud. And the words beneath it just simply say, hold please. The symbol of Shagadil. Spelled C.
I brought my another book that I write notes in. Just begin to take notes.
And it's spelled Chagidil.
Rosewood. I look up, just like as I'm like hunched over the book, I sort of look up to see if somebody's there.
Give me a soul.
That is an 11. Mixed success.
Mixed success. Okay. You look up, and as you look up, you can almost see with a quickness, like as if a blinking of an eye, a hand pulling back and then just disappearing and just seemingly in thin air.
Is this what you wanted me to see?
Silence.
Well, okay. Okay. So this bag of deal, me. That's something to look into. Okay. I flip a couple of pages, see if it gives me any more information about this.
The next few pages have been removed from the book. They've been torn haphazardly. And the pages after that, it looks as though someone has taken like a red colored pencil and just scrubbed out what's there.
Symbol. I have another copy of the book I can look into, or they don't have the library. Maybe I can find it at a bookstore later today. Hold on. I pull out one of my other books on the occult and just try to see if anything else is there regarding this name or this symbol.
Give me a investigation roll. So that's a plus reason.
With a 9, so that is a failure.
Okay. With a 9.
Right? Yes.
Let me think. You start rifling through the other books that you have. And you're frantically searching the pages, seeing if Chagadil is written somewhere else within them. And you look at the table of contents on a book that is specifically the histories of Pennsylvania, the little known histories. It's a book on like folklore. And you see that it's on page 66. And as you turn the pages looking for it, a small rosebud, a pressed rose, withered and almost like crumbles, falls out. And on the page where it mentions Chagadil, you just see that there is I'm trying to think what I want to give you. There is kind of this image of this patriarch. But it's a crude imagery. And it speaks of an old priest and the legend of this blood-stained patriarch that preyed upon children in the early 1800s. And throughout the passages, someone has circled every time a child is referenced and has underlined any mentions of abuse or violation or the taking of their lives, and how this blood-stained patriarch is rumored to have taken the lives of somewhere around 12, maybe 13 children. And the connection is that when the patriarch was found, he had hanged himself. And upon the floor was written in blood, Chagadil. I think your mic has cut out.
Oh, right.
There you go.
Wonderful. I love that for me. Why can't people just leave these children in peace? Let them grow up and just be fucking kids. Okay. That can't be all. There's around 13 kids.
Matt, I love your shirt, by the way.
Okay, so, we gotta do more research on this. Great. This is horrible. just start packing up the books and putting them back in my bag, and then look at the rose that's on the ground. Yeah. I sort of shake it off and keep packing.
Okay. Are you ready to head to the library?
Yeah. Might as well.
So you begin your journey to the library. It's not that far. It's a good walk. So you spend most of your morning trying to enjoy your walk, but it's difficult because surrounding you on all sides is despair. There are homeless adults and children and elderly just littering the streets as if discarded trash. You almost have to step over bodies. In alleys, you see them piled almost like firewood. It's harrowing, but at the same time, you almost... Looking at this sight, it's like, where is God? But as someone who's walked away from the faith, that's not something that you would consider. And you make your way to the library, seemingly unbothered by these folks. It's almost as if they don't even see you in the haze. And as you enter, we will cut to Hercule. Hercule, you've entered the library with your son. He's, is taken off in another direction to kind of do his studies. And what is something in particular that you'd be looking for here, research-wise?
Let's see. Our time period is the 90s, right?
Yep, it's 94. You're there for the big council meeting. You know some information, personal information about Pennhurst. Your father, who was, a journalist in the area before you, did quite a few investigations into occurrences there, but that was when you were young. Things that you weren't, privy to, or, media that may be archived at the library, maybe not.
Yeah, he would probably go back to the micro media machine and try and ask the library for some micros. You go over to the librarian. Let me get some micros of some stories related to Pennhurst,
Oh, so you're not the first person to come in here and actually ask me about Pennhurst today. That's kind of weird. That old man, the old detective, he's back there right now looking at all the micros we have. So, yeah, the detective, what the hell is his name? He's always in here these days. Either way, he's got them all. So if you want to head back there and maybe ask him for a couple, it's a hot topic today. I'm not quite sure why.
I'll go ask jump over there. All right, thank you.
No problem.
He'll waltz over there.
So you walk over to the microfilm section, and you can see a body, like a man hunched over, looking through, and he's almost like mumbling to himself. Like, okay, that's when that happened, and this is okay, and then I gotta understand that that's gonna happen next. And he's mumbling. You can see his hair is gray and pulled back in a messy bun. And as you kind of like turn the corner, you recognize this to be a friend of your father's, Detective David Somerset. You haven't seen him since you were young. He's aged now. You know that he was on the homicide beat years and years ago, and now you see him in the corner poring over the micro sheets of Pennhurst. And he's fervently writing notes on a notepad.
He's gonna approach him slowly and kind of just tap him on the shoulder. Because he's not sure if Timmy looks like him. You know, this guy's like focused. He's like, just tap him. Hey, is that you?
What do you want? My God.
Been a while.
Hercule, right?
Oh,
and he takes your hand, and his palm it's weathered and leathery. And you can even tell, like, in your, just by holding it, you can, as you look down at his hand, like, they're just worn out. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta pull up a particular name because I've already forgotten it. Let me put it in front of me. Oops. 2 seconds. I'm so sorry. This was open on my screen. Okay. All right. My God. Hercule Mahomes. As I live and breathe.
In the flesh.
You look just like Carson. Conan. Sorry. You look just like Conan.
Yeah, that's what they tell me.
How you doing, boy?
All right. As best as it can be, you know.
Yeah. I meant to be there for Conan's. I meant to be there.
Yeah, I know.
What are you doing here?
Visiting the folks, visiting them, separated, so you gotta get my time whenever I can,
You back because of all the everything that's been happening here in Philadelphia? You know about the murders, do you?
Yeah, I know. I'm just here. I came to the library to find out what I could, but I really came back for a bit for my family. You always seem to be kind of drawn to this kind of stuff,
Yeah, from what I know, you were always fascinated by the same dark stories your father always was, huh?
Yeah, some things draw you,
Yeah. There's this case that your father and I, we worked together on, and I thought I solved it. I thought I did. I thought I retired proudly, knowing I solved this case, but this goes beyond the realm of ordinary crime.
He pulls out a chair and takes a seat.
Hercule, I gotta tell somebody, and, well, maybe by the grace of God, you've been led here to me today to tell you.
Well, hold on. He looks around and see if there's anybody really close by and takes out his notepad. Well, what have you heard?
It's this kiddie killer. One that's been leaving these bodies all over Kensington.
Yeah, I was trying to read whatever you got on the microfilm on that story.
Well, I've been pouring through all this microfilm and everything that I could find about Pennhurst because, you see, do me a favor, and he passes a Polaroid in front of you. Mm-hmm. And for the folks at home and for you, let me get this up. You see this Polaroid I got here, all right? I took it at the precinct as I was talking to the lead detective that's currently on the case. Mm-hmm. Now you see it, right? You see that these are two almost identical dolls, right?
It's a close look. Alright. Yeah. That's writing notes.
And you can see them on the screen, right, Matt?
Let's pull up the screen. It's a bit late. Here we go. Why did it delay? That's weird. Okay. Yeah, I see it. Mm-hmm.
Now they look identical, right?
Yeah.
The doll on the left is from a murder case, a series of murders your father and I investigated back in 1976. The other one is from one of the little kids that they found. That being my granddaughter, Molly. They found her, just like the other kids.
18 years apart. When did your granddaughter die?
Molly was found on August 16th. She wasn't one of the first ones found, but they found her on the 16th.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry.
On your shoulder.
I've been detailing all 11 of these kids. And every single one has been found with that same MO. Badly beaten. Dropped in an alley or a park. But I found a connection. I found a connection, Hercule. That all of them have been found near a church. And all of them have been found with these same old corn husk dolls.
Same church?
Different, no, different churches. All around Kensington. Everyone thinks it's alleyways and parks and sewers. I feel like the connection is churches. I've got my notes here, you can have them. But the connection has got to be these dolls. That every single body that we found in every stairwell or bush or room, them kids were found. The same thing. And we thought we got him back in 76, but I think he's back. Can I show you my notes?
Yeah. I'll take a look at your notes. What you got here?
So he slips a paper to you. All right, so what I found is the first body, right, was found on June 5th on a dumpster. But that dumpster was behind the House of Triumph Outreach and Worship Center, right? That was Agnes Ingram, 6 years old. After that, Imeme Odonker, not quite sure, age 8. Alley behind Mount Zion. I got excited. Then we had the 2 unidentified bodies, Jane Doe and a John Doe, age 7. They were twins, Hercule. They were found near a Baptist church. Helga, age 9, found by the Presbyterian church. Billy Harris, age 8, found near the Calvary Chapel steps. Annabelle Tyson, age 7. She was found in a sewer on Frankfurt Avenue. Just spitting distance from Assembly of God. Annabelle Tyson, 7. Then we have Lily Masterson, age 6, by St. Joan of Arc, and then my little Molly. She was found on the steps of St. Michael's. Penny Ramirez, 7 years old, found in an alley behind the Morning Star Holiness. And more recently this morning, Cindy Wilcox. She was found on Hissy Playground across from Liberty Baptist. I'm telling you, there's a connection. I'm telling you, there has to be something that relates here and back in 76 to Pennhurst. We thought we found him. We thought it was an orderly. A guy by the name of Skip Davis, but Skip got the electric chair back in 81.
How
Hercule.
many Copycat, maybe?
It could be a copycat, but the thing is, we never told the press about the dolls. And right now it's need to know. We haven't told anybody that the dolls have been connected, and I've been on this case. I know I'm retired, but I've been working with the lead detective. Detective Reynolds. I can give you his information.
I'll take it.
Hercule, will you look into this?
Yeah.
Good. You can have any of the microfilms I have here, but most of them just... I haven't been able to find anything else. Maybe you can find something.
Alright, well, let's see what I can find. Let me Xerox copy these notes you got here.
I can't rest until I find out who the Kensington Kiddie Killer is. Because this just might be a serial killer that was bested me and your father for the last 2.5 decades. Something ain't right about this. Something ain't human about it. Yeah.
No, I know. What do you mean not human?
I just know that as I've been looking at different cases and old files, anything that resembled the same kind of MO. Missing kids, bodies just turning up. This goes way beyond 76. I found something about this old priest back in the 1800s. He took about 12, 13 kids. But
What?
the detective that worked that case disappeared. And then there was another back in the early 1900s where a bunch of school kids disappeared, and the detective who worked that case went insane. And then there's me, who worked the case back in 76, and your father who, well, we both know what happened to him. Something's not right.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, take a breather. Go get yourself a whole deer, chompy or something. Get some water.
Yeah, water would be good. I'm gonna go. Well, I'll be. It's a day for old faces indeed. And, he looks up, Somerset looks up, and you follow his gaze, and you see a man enter the library and head back to a section on religion and occults. And you don't quite recognize him, but you see that Detective Somerset does.
Yeah.
That would be... well, ex-Father Marcus Hill. Huh. I haven't seen him in... oh, quite some time. I'm gonna go get that water now. And he picks himself up, and you notice as he gets up from the table, he's haggard. His clothing kind of has a ripeness to it, like he hasn't bathed in days. It's disheveled. You can see that the bag that he has on the floor, he's pretty much been living out of. And he shuffles to go get water.
Kind of just glances through the notes, looking up to see where this Father Marcus is perusing, what he's trying to go reread while he's looking back at the notes, just kind of looking back at the guy.
Okay. Marcus, what are you doing as you entered the library? You're...
Just walk in, see the librarian at the desk.
Good to see you again.
Yep. Hold on, and I pull out the couple of books I need to return.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not so much light reading as that, huh?
Yeah.
If
Sometimes
you're...
just gotta look for stuff.
If you're really interested in the occult stuff, there's a couple of books back there that just got returned. Might be up your alley. You seem like you're really into this stuff.
You know, well, you know, when someone's learns about religion, they don't always learn about the counters to that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, you know, it's always good to understand all sides of the equation. But those books would be...
Religion and occult. Far back.
Thank you. Why are those two kept so close together? You know what? It does make sense. Yes,
well,
thank you.
Okay. Enjoy. And as you're, like, kind of out of earshot, you hear her go, crazy ass. Oh, man, just a bunch of crazies in my damn library today. I didn't even want to work this shift.
Oh. You'll be okay. Somebody will look after her. I just sort of continue on to the religion and occult section, and did she like stop halfway, walk back? Do you happen to know exactly which books were returned, or did just...
They're literally the only 5 that you haven't looked at yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah, shouldn't be hard to find. Crazy ass. What?
I haven't left yet, but okay.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Nice walk away. Nice.
And on your way, you do see out of your periphery both Somerset and someone who you don't quite recognize, but you do see them having this deep conversation as you head over to this section.
Oh. How do I know Detective Somerset?
So you and Somerset know one another back when you were working with Delaney, Sister Delaney at Pennhurst. He questioned you back then when there was a string of patients, young children turning up dead. It was a brief encounter then. He, at the time, almost suspected you. So there was this kind of like tense relationship that happened then, but it's been quite some time since. And you haven't really interacted with him since last you heard he had retired from the force. But you do know from the radio broadcasts of the Kiddie Killer that his granddaughter was one of the more recent children found.
Nobody should have to live with that. I wonder what he's doing here. I shouldn't bother him. He seems to be talking to someone. I'm probably the last person he wants to see right now. I won't wave. I'll just keep going. I pause and like look, sort of keep going to the back, towards the religion and occult section.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds.
Sort of pass by like the other sections. Okay, I've read this book, I've read this. Oh no, I should return that book. This one's late. Where is it? Should be a tickle.
And you're looking for these books that she indicated.
Yeah.
They're not on the shelves.
Okay. Is there a cart nearby? Maybe they're on the cart. They just haven't been put back yet or something.
Give me an investigation.
Nope, that is a 6 plus 4 plus reason.
That would
11.
be...
That's an 11. So
yes, plus
success.
reason. Mixed success. Okay.
Yes.
So you're looking around for a cart. Maybe they're on a table. You're not seeing anything. And the way that this section of the library is set up is there's this kind of hidden row of books behind religion and occultism. So it's like you have to go straight down the path. You reach a bookshelf, but then there's a right and then an immediate left into this kind of corridor where there's an extra set of books back there. And you hear a little sound. You hear a psst. Psst. And it's coming from around that corner.
At first, I tried to ignore it while still looking at books and get to the end of the row. Where's the right around the bookshelf? Do I still hear the whisper?
You hear very faintly, "Come here. I know what you're looking for. Come here. Follow me."
Do I see anyone?
No.
I cautiously look. Is there any way I could look to like see what's going on?
You can either go around this corner or you can attempt to remove some of the books from the shelf in front of you and look through it.
I think that's the easiest way. Removing the books to like just take a couple books down, like pretend like I'm putting them to the side to possibly look at them and sort of peek through, see if someone's there or if they're talking to someone else.
You peek through and you don't see anything at first. And then, startling you to the point where you jump back, a hand thrusts itself through, holding a book. And it kind of like wiggles it in front of you for you to take it. Take it.
Hey, thank you. I take the book and I turn it over over to see what book it is.
The book is Beyond the Veil, an in-depth study of occult practices and belief.
Pretty sure I haven't read this one yet.
You're turning it over in your hands, and it's older. It looks as though maybe it was printed in the 60s, maybe the 70s. Oh no, it's 94, so let's go even older than that. 40s. It was printed in either the 30s or the 40s. It's got kind of like those cracks of white in the black jacket. And on the center of the front is this image of a roaring red fire and what appears to be a figure in the fire, almost like a burning at the stake.
Hey, thank you.
The hand itself, which you take a look at it before it slowly pulls back through the opening and downwards. It was a child's hand, but it was bluish, almost it was pale and bluish in color.
Are you okay?
Nothing. Silence.
Sort of peer through the books again where the hand came out just to see if there's anything.
There's nothing there.
I don't do this very often, but I close my eyes and begin a prayer, but don't finish it. Like,
So,
it's one of those like, oh, wait, I don't do this anymore type of things. Because it caught me off guard so far. Like, so wildly off guard.
Give me a keep it together, a willpower.
When I've heard him say, "Are you okay?"
Yes, you do hear this.
Start to walk up. I'm gonna stop. I'm about to tap him on his shoulder, but I see him pray.
That's a 19.
A 19? Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, you keep it together, and you begin your prayer, but you do stop. And Hercule?
As he stops, I kind of just tap him on the shoulder.
Who's there?
Sorry, my name's Hercule. Is everything all right over here? I heard you killing out to somebody.
I fully turn around. Hercule. Do you have a last name?
Mahomes?
You recognize Mahomes.
Mahomes. Huh, I know that name.
Ew, you were calling out to somebody. Somebody hurt over there?
I could say yes, but I could also say I don't know.
Feel your response, but kind of just peeks around him, like just to see if he sees anybody on either side.
You see nothing.
You alright?
Unfortunately, Mr. Mahomes, the same response would be right for this situation where I could say yes, but I could also say I don't know.
Well, I was looking through some notes for my friend, and I actually was considering asking you a couple questions for because I haven't been here in a while. So,
questions.
need to kind of be brought to speed a bit.
Oh, I don't. So I recognize Holmes, the name. What is your relation to the Mahomes that I may be referring to? You said I may know you.
Conan.
Oh.
So, for you, Marcus, Rob, you remember the name Mahomes from the investigation that took place with Somerset back at Pennhurst. There was a reporter, a journalist, investigating with him. And you remember the reporter's name was Mahomes.
I know of a reporter, Holmes. You are his son?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, was, but yeah.
Was.
Oh, he was my, he's,
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thanks. But yeah, I was, trying to catch up, the speed on this, case with the missing children. Former father, you might know, a little about the different churches. If there's anything background around them.
Churches.
Well, I guess I should fill you in. You got a minute?
I'm like still holding the book I just got. I guess.
Come on.
Great, what do you want today? He's still living, I guess. Hopefully, maybe.
Takes a seat and shows them some of the notes about the missing children and all being around churches. You know of any? You know some of the fathers and people around here. You know anybody that's been bothering these places or lingering around these places or anything they might have talked about?
I am no longer.
No, I understand that, but you must have known some of the pastors to these places, and they may have said something to you in passing about some random crazy person they had to chase off or something. I don't know.
Well, I haven't had many discussions recently with anyone.
So
I'm looking at these notes, and these are like, this is brand new information to me, isn't it?
yes, except when you take a look at the list, you see that one of the children, let's see which one it was. Billy Harris was found on July 4th on the steps of the Calvary Chapel, which is the chapel that Sister Delaney was at.
Oh, hold on. This Calvary Chapel. That was Sister Delaney's. Oh, shit. So a sister of Calvary Chapel apparently passed away today.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was very different circumstance.
How so?
It was found in the river.
Oh.
Yeah. But Calvary Chapel was hers.
Do you know Sister Delaney beforehand?
Yeah, yes, he did. We and I was part of Cloth. Yeah, we did work. We've worked together on things.
Thanks. Takes the notes and all that. No, I don't know anything about that. I'm not really into all that stuff, but my father and his friend used to think something strange about all this and something beyond, but I don't know. The only thing that's weird is this thing with these dolls. Something about they think it's repeat or something, but the guy starts telling him about the guy who passed and that was electrocuted, and about how there's the same occurrence with the dolls, and it's like it's just weird. I don't know anything. Sorry for stressing you out about all this. I just really wanted to know if you knew anybody in the cloth connected, and that people I might be able to talk to, but to try and find out more information.
This is a lot of information.
Just roll up on this priest. I love it. Okay, making a note that you just told him about a secret detail that the police told you.
Yeah, I'm aware of the information, like, the general information previously.
Mm-hmm.
Just the doll stuff is brand new, and I'm like, I don't know what to talk about that.
Now, Hercule, you asking Marcus this information, is it because you feel like you can trust him, or that you can get information out of him on it?
It was more of this is a lot, and I needed someone to bounce this off.
Fair enough. So you're just like, oh, let me make an ally in the library. Got it.
Yeah, this is a lot, and you're wandering around the library, so maybe you might know a thing can help me clear this up in my head.
Would I know anything about those dolls?
You would, because you were involved in the investigation back in '76.
Okay. But not just that. I've been told about, like, generally speaking, somebody may have let it slip back then, so I knew a doll existed.
Mm-hmm.
But
I would say
about the dolls, like where they come from, what their significance would be.
No, I would say, so for a flashback to '76, you and Delaney actually found one of the children with a doll. So your connection to is, you remember, once those dots are connected, you know that back in '76 you did find someone with a corn husk doll. Now at Pennhurst, it was a self-sustaining community. There was corn grown on the grounds. So someone on the grounds was taking the husks of corn and making dolls. That much you know, but it wasn't revealed in the press that the new murders have dolls, which is something that Hercule just let slip to you.
Mr. Mahomes.
Yeah.
So you're saying these children that you have on this list were found with dolls?
Oh, wait. Yeah, that's something one of the detectives was saying. It's just strange.
Yeah, yes, that is very strange. What? These... Do I know... Well, I'm pretty sure I know, generally speaking, where these churches are.
Yes. Yeah, a couple of them you have been connected to, Sister Delaney was bouncing around a couple of the churches and such. Like, some of them are other religions and all other faiths, but you're aware, that all of these churches are located in Kensington.
Mr. Holmes, well, all of these churches are in Kensington. I know your father was from here. I don't know if you are aware of the area.
How much would my character be aware of the area?
I'd say that you've got kind of like landmarks in mind, like bigger landmarks of Philadelphia, but nothing tight. You've left and went to New Orleans, and, you were born in New Orleans, spent some time in Philly with family. So it's like there are a few places that you do know. Like, as a child, you may have played at one or two of the parks. Hissy Park, you've played at as a child. So it's like you've got kind of like brief snippets of memories of the area.
Well, I've heard of Kensington area. I may have been in there once, twice, but I was more raised in New Orleans, not from here. My family was from here.
Well, if that would be helpful, all of these churches are in Kensington area. So that may be able to help you looking. As I said, Sister Delaney unfortunately is no longer with us.
Yeah.
Then you see, you're a detective, so you would see me sort of adjust in my seat after I say that. Which church is Sister Beatrix at?
She's at their current church. Let me go back to my notes on that. And we are almost at our end time for today, so we might have to cut right after this. Oh no, I don't have it written down. I guess we're just gonna pretend like we didn't know what it was, the last one. She's at Calvary.
Oh.
They're all at Calvary. We'll say that. Retconned.
Yeah. Sister Beatrix, who was the one who informed me of our sister's untimely passing, is at Calvary. And I'm sure she'll be at the town hall here tonight.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe ask her a thing or two. She might be able to help me out with some. Tying any details together.
There's a lot of strange things going on around here.
Really?
Well, seen the kids. Well, you've heard about the kids. Probably seen you're fresh back from your home. You've probably seen the overwhelming number of homeless.
No, I've seen that.
Yeah. Wasn't always like this. But something's happening, I guess. I don't know what.
Any final questions, Hercule? I'm so sorry.
Let me say thanks. But which where are we? We're at the library, right?
Yes.
Is it the library in Kensington, or?
The library is not in Kensington, no. It's the... Oh gosh, drawing on my Philly knowledge. Let's see which one you guys are at. No, you're in one that's kind of like in South Philly area.
South Philly?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's just say you're at the South Philadelphia Library.
Okay. All right, well, thanks for the information.
Yeah.
Here's my card if you hear any details or anything, you know?
Yeah.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah. You too. And I shake his hand, and I sort of look. Keeper, this may be weird. Can I look to make sure he's an actual person?
Yes. Let me see what would be a good roll for that. Let's see what would be the best. Read a person. Read a person. So let's do a roll plus intuition.
Awesome. 15.
15? Success. Okay. You hold his hand. You shake his hand, and as it's like in your grip, you can tangibly feel like this is a real human hand, like almost down to like the pulse that you can feel through it, and the clamminess of it, that it's like, okay, this is a real person that I'm shaking hands with. But there's also this feeling of not understanding, but a feeling of like you've been here before, almost like a deja vu, shaking this man's hand. Maybe it's because you knew his father, but there's this kind of strange, I've been here before in this situation. And it's kind of this unsettling, kind of queasy feeling of like something bad happened last time. Something bad's gonna happen again. Maybe not from this person, but something awful is coming. And with that, we will cut for today. I know, Billy, Anita, we didn't spend a whole lot of time with you and your daughter, but we will next time. We're going to start off with that, and then we're going to flow deeper into that as we finally get to the city council meeting. So we will go around, everyone, say one thing that you... let me think of a good closer out. Something that has unnerved you that you're afraid of going forward. And we'll go in reverse order this time. So let's start with Rob. And then after you say that, go ahead and say who you are, where folks can find you, and anything you want to shout out. So go ahead.
So one thing that has unnerved me that I am not looking forward to finding out about later on. The answer to your question is yes. If I had to pick something in particular, personally, it's the fact that I am unnerved that I'm probably going to understand what's going on with me in general. Like I will be able to understand, like, the fact that I have to go check to see if this person's a person. The fact that I have, like, nothing seems linear anymore, and it wavers. So yeah, that, and I feel like I'm terrified for the character to understand that fact. Like, hey, this is what's going on. Oh, that's horrible. That's way worse.
It'd be such a shame if you figured that out by the time you got back to the school.
No, I mean, that'd be real bad. May be helpful, but that'd be real bad. But other than that, Robert Madison II. I have been playing my good friend Marcus Hill. Yeah, he's going through it, y'all. He's going through it. So Robert Madison II, also known as Mad Dr. Rob on the everywheres. Typically this is where I shout out Obsidian Brews, but I'm here. Yay, me. I'm here. Doing dope Obsidian Brews things. Well, I know we'll all say it, but we're gonna be a Dragon God, which is gonna be dope. And gonna be on battles with peoples talking about wild stuff. It's like, yo, this is happening. So yeah, if you're at Dragon Con, come check us out.
Your Queen's Court stuff.
Hell yeah, that was next. Also, sometimes, i.e. Mondays at 7, you can catch me hanging out with the Queen's Court game crew for Harlem Unbound, an all-black table going through Call of Cthulhu's Harlem Unbound, written by Chris Spivey. It's awesome. I'm super proud of it. It's a blast. Come watch it. It's good, y'all. It's good. Yeah, it's real good. I like it. I hope y'all enjoy it. We're on episode 2 tomorrow. And if you miss it, you can always check it out on their Twitch and their YouTube's Queen Court Games. Shout out to them, say hi. But yeah, I make maps in my spare time. And if you would like to see more of my maps, you can come here. Are we doing it this week? Yeah,
Tuesday?
Tuesday. Typically it's a Monday maps, but it will be on Tuesday because I'm going to be watching myself do cool things.
Tuesday.
So Tuesday, I will be making maps as part of Monday Maps on Tuesdays. And come see me make a map live and come hang out and chat and see some cool stuff. And I think that's it. If I think of something else, I don't know. It'll be on the everywheres.
Heck yeah. All right. I just thought of heavy as the cloth for you, which love that. Matt.
So, what a nerve. Me or Hercule? Just...
Yes.
Ooh, you choose.
Okay.
Both will help me create more horrors for you to face.
I like horrors, so I'm not too unnerved. What might have nerved Hercule, probably where the connection to the previous murders, kind of like that Halloween-esque, oh man, this is happening again. What the hell? Because he came back, he thought he heard about something. He was just going to check on it, and he was like, yeah, there's something else going on. And I'll kind of look back and see what's going on to the past with my dad and try and see if I can put that together. They're connected? That's not good. So yeah, he's definitely unnerved by that. He probably would be unnerved by the other things happening with the other characters, but he doesn't know that. I know that. So he's very focused on the real. If you know, his soul is not high. So he's focused on the real, trying to make the real connections for stuff. That's why he was like, oh, there's a former man of the cloth. This guy knows some of the churches. Maybe connect some dots I can't connect. Because, we have Google, but like, we have Google. No, it was late.
Nope, 94.
Wow. 94.
No Google. That's why we actually trust priests. We just roll up to a priest.
And people we see in the library, and people you can actually talk to. You don't have search functions, so you got to go in the Dewey Decimal System and the microfilm. So I'm asking all the questions to everybody. But yeah, back to me. You can find me on many places, but I haven't been doing live streams other than here much. I Samurai Walker X on Instagrams and Resmonk Walker and most other places you can spot me. Of course, follow Rob's about Monday Maps on Tuesdays and his Queen's Court games. Also, I'm gonna shout out ahead. Someone else is gonna talk about some gala, something. Next month. I heard it's awesome. It's gonna be amazing.
So excited. So excited.
Oh gosh, I wonder if that is. But yeah, no, we're gonna be at Dragon Con next month. Well, end of this month. Very end. So yeah, we'll see us there.
And speaking of, great segue.
What would unnerve Billy? The fact that the gangly man, as she calls him, is talking to her to talk to me. And she's kind of unnerved, like there has to be something about her in particular, because it happened to her as a kid and she's still here, and now it's happening to her kid, she's still here. So it's got to be something with Billy in particular that it's got to be connected to Pennhurst, and so that is what's unnerving Billy. And as for moi, Tranquil Ashes on the everywheres. And yes, I have a right along the theme actually of this presentation. I have my cause gala. It is going to be a monster ball, September 23rd in the DMV. All you can eat, all you can drink. There's going to be haunt actors. It's going to be really fun. So make sure you come through. And of course, like everyone said, we're going to be at Dragon Con. So make sure you come and say hi and ask all the questions and take all the pictures.
Amazing. Oh, I love my players. Hi, hello, I'm Bendy. I'm your story master. What the story master is unnerved by? Oh boy. I mean, I can't really be unnerved by anything because it's all coming from me.
You did this to us.
Yeah. I guess. I won't say. Anyway, you can find me here at Obsidian Brews, also Bendy Dinosaurs on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, I'm Bendy Mitchell. Fun fact, I'm 31 in 8 days. I'm excited about that. But I guess I'll say that instead of what I'm unnerved by. I'm unnerved by turning 31 in 8 days now. I will be with the crew at Dragon Con. I will also be at the Cause Gala. I'm very, very excited for the Cause Gala because I get to play around with some cool, spooky things in support for it. So that makes me happy. But yep, we're Obsidian Brews, a Black tabletop experience coming to you live on Sundays. We may or may not be here next Sunday. I've got to confirm with the crew because life does happen. But we love that you were here with us today. We hope you enjoyed this storytelling. We hope that you are with us as we continue on this journey of KULT, a KULT Divinity Lost Words, KULT Divinity Lost Homebrew based on true events known as Suffer the Little Children. This has been episode 2, The Gangly Man. We will see you again soon. But until then, stay safe out there, stay sane out there. And I totally riffed that from my favorite news show, but we'll check you later. All right. Thanks for watching.